Welcome YouTube to the first ever weekly breakdown where each and every week I'm going to be talking to you about the things that are coming up that I'm excited about in video games, movies, and everything in between. Let's get into it. Topic number 1. The SNES Classic reservations from Walmart are canceled. As many of you may know, many of you may not know, Walmart let a little oopsie out that they claimed was a back-end issue that let people get on their website and reserve the SNES Classic early. Nobody else had this out at the time. Amazon, everybody else was sitting there like, what the f*** are you doing, man? Walmart was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. They sent emails out to everybody who reserved one. I didn't, so I don't have what it said. All I know is they officially went on record and said that they're canceling all of these pre-orders. So anyone that got on there early got them taken back. I really don't think this is going to affect anybody. I honestly don't think that anybody that reserved an SNES Classic, especially from Walmart, is really going to be like, Walmart, that was it. That was the final straw. I got a bad thing at Apple's last week. This toy was broken when I bought it. You had one more chance, and it was the SNES Classic, and you blew it. I'm not going to use you anymore. I don't think that's going to happen. I think most people are just going to be like, well, that sucks. And they're going to wait for that date and reserve it again. I myself am going to have all the tabs open, all of the tabs. Amazon, Walmart, GameStop, wherever that I can reserve them. I'm going to try to reserve one because the SNES Classic was my childhood. That was the first system that I had, and I played Super Mario World until my eyes bled every day. I couldn't be more excited. Next up on my radar, Captain Marvel announcements. We got to see the official concept art released for the Scrolls. That's a weird word to say. I feel like I'm screwing it up. I feel like when I type it and autocorrect's like, that's not a word. That's what my mouth does. My mouth is like, that's not a word. Scroll? It's weird to say. We got the concept art for that. They look super cool. I'm very excited about it. But the other bit of news that came out confuses me a lot. And so I want to get your guys' thoughts because I can't keep this straight. I feel like I'm in an X-Men movie. And what I mean by that is timelines are all kinds of screwed up. In Doctor Strange, we got a little Easter egg that got us all excited about Captain Marvel. He's in his car. He's driving around right before he crashes. And right before that happens, we get these patients that he could possibly work on that he's getting excited about, right? And he's passing them up. And then he says, ooh, that one sounds interesting, of a girl who is struck by lightning, who has a headpiece. They don't mention the schizophrenia that I can remember. Everyone's like, oh, that's Carol, bro. That's Carol. That's Captain Marvel. No. Now we find out that this one takes place in the 90s. Doctor Strange was driving a pretty brand new Lamborghini in current times when he got the call about this thing. But now Captain Marvel is happening in the 90s, and Samuel Jackson has 2 eyes, he doesn't have 1 eye. I don't know. Again, I feel like this is an X-Men movie. Because every time I watch an X-Men movie, I'm like, didn't that happened different? That happened different, though, in the other one. And they're just like, yes, we know. Shut up. You just sit there and you watch them, and you're just like, where's Wolverine? He's in this one, too, right? I'm confused about the timeline. I'm still going to watch it. I'm still super pumped. The art looks great. Second thing, was this I don't know. I can't count. I don't know. I can't even talk now. Last thing I want to talk about with that is they also announced, I guess somewhere, the Super Scroll, which has like all of the Fantastic Four's powers, but Marvel doesn't own Fantastic Four. So what are they going to do? Give him all the X-Men powers? That would be cool, I guess, but that's not what he's supposed to be. I don't know if they're just not going to say that it's the Fantastic Four powers, but we'll know that it's the Fantastic Four powers, and they'll just bring him in, because if you don't mention him, like, is that... I don't know what they can do with that. But either way, looks cool. Next piece on the report, PlayStation update. So, there are rumors circulating right now, and none that I've seen that are confirmed. So if they are confirmed, by the time I put this video up, post a link below so everybody can see this and read this and know what's going on. Apparently, coming up in a 5.0 update, there will be an update that many of us have longed for so long. We can change our name. For those of us, like myself, who made a stupid username when they were in high school and they have been tied to it forever because they don't want to lose their trophies, they don't want to lose their information. I don't know, I'm weird about that stuff. I don't want to make a second one. I want to change this so bad. It's dumb. It's dumb. And when people ask, like, oh, what's your name so you can play? Because I just got a PlayStation, right? I just got a PlayStation about a month ago. So I went through the, hey guys, what's your name? Because I have a name and I can play the games with you. I asked because I didn't want to have to tell anybody. That's the level that I'm on right now. I'm really excited that if this is real, oh, I've longed longed for this day for so long. Next thing that they're going to add there potentially is the backwards capability, the library of PS1 classic games. We will get trophies for those games, and we will also be able to play those on our PlayStation 4, and I'm very excited for that because I mentioned the SNES was my first system, my second system was the PlayStation, and I just have fond memories of spending hours on the demo discs I got from Pizza Hut, playing them the same level. I think it was Cool Borders 4, and I played that forever, and I also played the wrestling game where I was Stone Cold Steve Austin. They didn't do a lineup, but if I can get that Cool Borders 4 and just play that level over and over again, it's worth every penny, and that's all I'll get, and that'd be worth it. Next up that I thought I would just take some time to mention because of the pandemonium it caused in the beginning was Pokemon Go. Most of you probably saw the report that Pokemon Go Fest in Chicago was a disaster. What they didn't talk about, and what again Kind of Funny Games Daily brought up for those who went to the festival, was the positive impact of it. A lot of people who were still there, who waited it out until the problems were fixed, said that they had a really good time. They met people, they played the games, they did the raids with them, and it felt like the release. I don't know about you, but I have no shame in admitting that when this game came out, my inner child and my adult self got very excited about this game. And the night it came out, I went out with some friends. I walked in a park in the dark. It rhymed. And that was cool. Went to the park in the dark, and we just made laps until we were like, I should probably go to bed. Yeah, I work tomorrow. So do you. We should probably go to bed. I remember that. We made laps, and we all got kicked off time and time again. The server issues were terrible, but the idea of having augmented reality Pokemon in the real world had everyone excited. I grew up on that. The Game Boy games, everything. You're starting to see a theme, and that's that my childhood had a big week. It's exciting to see that it went successful towards the end because the idea of this was good. Rejuvenate popularity by having a festival and having people come out and having raids and releasing legendaries. The idea is great. It just wasn't executed the best. But the thing I want to talk about today is that they came out and said that they've got 4 different events that they've got coming up in the coming weeks that they're actually delaying so that they can try to get these server issues and these cellular problems of kicking people off and not being able to have a great time fixed before they have those festivals on. So good for them, I think, acknowledging that there was a problem, acknowledging that it has to be fixed, and not just going with the flow. And, that's what Pokemon Go does, and that they fail at the server thing, but you still play it because that's what it is. But it's been over a year, so I think we're a little tired of seeing that. For those that still play, I know that the community is way down. I jump on when there's events anymore just because I'm one of those people that has to complete a game, and the fact that I don't have all of them all because I don't play like the people did in the beginning, and I don't play like they do now, I don't have them all. So when I hear that there's an event, I'm like, I gotta hop on for about anywhere from 3 to 7 days to do this event, and then I probably won't play it anymore. That's that. And hopefully those events go well for them because I'd like to see, all the generations come on there and get everybody who ever liked the game really into it again. Last up, and this is a little out of left field, but I love horror movies. I love movies in general. Most of the time in my everyday life, no less than 75% of the words that leave my mouth are actually just movie quotes. That's how I live my life. I don't regret it. I don't think it's a bad way to live, and I'll continue doing it. Anyways, we finally got an official trailer for the movie It, and I'm so excited. It looks fantastic. 2 things here that I want to bring up, and that's one, we finally get to hear Skarsgård talk a little bit. We've got to hear the laugh. The laugh is really creepy, but we got to hear him talk a little bit, and I really enjoyed it. We got a little bitty glimpse at the very beginning when he's talking to George and he tells him to take the boat. As a child, if I saw a clown, first of all, I'm not a fan of clowns because of the original It. Second of all, if I heard someone talking in that creepy voice and they had those teeth, which look like a squirrel with rabies, I'm still trying to figure out the buck teeth. That's the one thing that's a little weird to me. If I saw that, I'd run. I'd be like, you know what? My brother can make me another boat. I don't need this boat. You can keep that boat. You creepy ass clown. But Georgie takes it and he eats him, blah, blah, blah. We see him talk. We hear him talk. We hear him talk a little bit. And we also get to see just him being creepy. We get to see more interactions with him and the Losers Club, which is great. We see him upside down in a cabinet just being weird. We get to see one of the kids turn around and he grabs him by the throat and it's really, really good. I'm excited. It looks like it's going to be more closely related to the book than the Tim Curry version from the 90s. I love Tim Curry, so don't hate that movie, but we can all admit It was incredibly cheesy, not to mention the ending spider. Second thing is, I saw a report this week that says, it confirmed that this is part one of a two-part series, and this is just focused on the Losers Club as kids. And we will get a second movie that starts production in the coming year that will focus on them as adults. Very, very excited about that, so we can really take the time, much like the original TV miniseries did, took the time to really explain the story with the kids and the adults. And because of that, they also said that it itself will take more forms than just Pennywise. The marketing for Pennywise is large. People know who he is, and that will sell the movie. They've announced that he will take a lot of forms in this movie. He's going to really dive into what those kids fear and change himself based on that. So we'll get to see things like the leper, like the werewolf, like many other things that the kids are afraid of. And I'm excited to see how they depict that. Alright guys, time for the honorable mention. These are just a few things that came up this week that I thought were pretty cool, but I really didn't have much to talk about. First on that list is anyone who is excited for Dragon Ball FighterZ, much like I am. The open beta sign up was pushed back. I had a reminder set on my phone, and they pushed it back from July 26th, I think it was, to August 22nd. So if you're waiting to sign up for that beta so you can really jump in on that, there's something to be excited about there. They did say that they're going to add 2 more characters, and they're really going to flush out that beta and that kind of demo that you would be downloading, because the craze for this is so high. They don't want to screw it up, so they're pushing it out a month. I've got no problem with that. I'm still going to sign up for the beta. I'm really excited to play that game. We brought up the SNES Classic here, and I also wanted to bring up that Nintendo put a patent in for a controller that looks, it's an N64 controller. That's what it is. It doesn't look like it is an N64 controller. Fingers crossed we'll actually get an N64 Classic next holiday season, because the SNES Classic will be this year. They've got to flush out all the details for the N64, make sure it works and everything like that. So I'm pretty excited. Both the SNES and the N64 have such a large amount of games that I love. I have an N64 right now with all those games, but I would still want to bring it up and take that with me and have that wherever I go. Last thing, pretty small, but if you are an Xbox Gold member, you can go pick up Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls for free. I got mine downloading right now. I played that on PC. It's the only PC game I've ever played is Diablo. Played that to death when I was a kid. The third one was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I've yet to try out the Necromancer, so I've yet to look to see if he's on there, but I'm excited if he is. I'm still downloading it. I'm still going to play it because it was a great game. So get out there and download that. Alright guys, that does it for this week. I hope you enjoyed the content that I provided for you guys. Again, I'll be here each and every week going over this. And in between that, I'm going to be posting videos of my streams. And I'm going to be posting big news that happens, or any movies that I go see, any new trailers, anything like that. So subscribe to this channel. Stay tuned for those videos, and I'll see you next week.